All right, let's look at the homework 7.6, problem number 9. All right, so looks like we have partitions here, and here's 2x here, and 2x, 2x, and then you have a y here. And so for x's, it's a little bit cheaper, $60 per foot. And for y, I guess it's a thicker partition. It costs $90 per foot. All right, but the work area has to be 648 square feet. All right, so that's the condition. All right, so let's do that. All right, so let's see, what's the minimum cost? So the cost function would be, so I'm going to call it f of xy as usual. All right, so this is going to be, all right, $60. Then we're going to use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6x feet, right? And then for y, you have a 90 feet, $90, sorry. Then you have a 2y, so times 2y. All right, so this is going to be 360x and plus 180y. Alright, so we want to minimize this cost function. So we want to minimize, right, and subject to this following constraint. So constraint would be the work area has to be equal to 648 square feet. So it's going to be 2x by 2y. So 2x times 2y, which is 4xy. And this is fixed at 648, right? And to avoid big numbers, I'm going to go ahead and divide through by 4. So divide through by 4. We get xy is equal to, all right, 6, let's say there's a 1, 4 in there, and 6 times 4, 24, and so 162. Right, so I'm going to write, put everything on one side, so you have xy minus 162, right, is equal to 0. So that's the constraint. All right, so what's capital F? So capital F is going to be, all right, so f of x comma y is 360x plus 180y, right, minus lambda times xy minus 162. All right, so let's look at the first partial with respect to x. So partial with respect to x would give us, all right, partial with respect to x would be 360. So you have 360 here. And minus lambda, so that's just a constant. And then partial of this with respect to x would be y, right? Partial of 162 is 0, since it's a constant. And so we set that equal to 0, all right? And the partial with respect to y would be, all right, so partial of this is 0, that would be 180, right? And the minus, and the lambda here, and partial of xy with respect to y will be just x, right? And that's 0, so this is equal to 0, right? So from here, we know that 360, and I'm going to move lambda y on the other side, so it's equal to lambda y, right? And then you have a 180 is equal to lambda x, right? So you can see that here, so 360 is twice as big as 180, so y is going to be twice as big as x, right? So I'm going to just write the y is going to be equal to 2x. All right, then we're going to just put it into this condition. XY has to be equal to 162, right? So XY has to be equal to, but the Y is 2X, so this is going to be 2X squared, and that's equal to 162, and which is the condition here, all right? So I'm going to divide through by 2. So we have x squared is equal to 81, right? Then we can just take the square root of both sides. So x is going to be plus or minus 9, but since we're talking about the length, so it's going to be positive 9, right? Once you know that it's positive 9, then we know that the y is twice as big, so y is going to be 18. All right, so let's type it in. All right, so we found x to be 9 and y to be 18. All right, let's check the answer. All right, I came back and it looks like we got the part A correctly. All right, minimum cost, so we just have to plug in x equals 9 and y equals 18. So let's do that. All right, so let's find the cost, the f of, all right, x is 9. And y is 18, right? So this is going to be 360 times 9 plus 180 times 18, right? So that's going to be equal to, let's see, 0 times 9 is 0. And 6 times 9 is 54, right? And 3 times 9 is 27. So 27 is going to be, let's see, 32 here, right? Plus, right, what's 18? 180 times 18. So 18. All right, so it's 0. And 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 1 is 8, so 114 there. So 1 times 18, so 18. So 0, 4, 2, 3. So you add actually exactly the same number, 3, 2, 4, 0. So it's going to be 6,480. Right? So let's type it in. All right, so minimum cost is $6,480. All right, let's check the answer. All right, I came back and looks like we got the part B correctly as well. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.